Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Butterflies Poison, continuing Hideo's route. I'm seriously. And one of these, eventually, we're gonna get to the banging. Obviously, but like, come on, before he goes off to war, girl. Come on, like now would be good. We don't know when he's, but we're gonna end up spending all of our time with him, and then maybe he won't go. But I feel like he's gonna go, and then in one of the bad endings, he's totally gonna die, and it's gonna be god awful. But anyway, the next day, Hideo comes to visit again at the same time in his usual military uniform. Just trying to show you how sexy, isn't it? They stare silently at each other for a while, feeling a myriad of emotions thrumming beneath their skin. The atmosphere around them is somber, and she wonders if this is what it's like, if this is what it will be like when she has to bid him farewell before he goes to war. Before his visit today, Spacey was sure she'd bawl the second she met eyes with Hideo, so it astonishes her when she doesn't. She waits for her emotions to go haywire again, but they never do. She's just filled with a strong desire to burn everything that Hideo is into her memory. Every strand of hair, every inch of skin. She wants to remember it all. I know there's a good way to remember every inch of skin, and that's by touching it. So, like, let's get to. But don't make me read it. Eventually, Hideo breaks the silence. Let's go to Asakusa. We can't have sex in public. That's weird. Why don't we just go upstairs to my room? You're a good boy. Again? Why? I want to go up the Junikai? Nikai? Tower? I don't know where the accentuation goes on that. Anyway. That tower? The real name of the Junikai Tower is the... Oh my god. Rionkaku? It's a 12-floor octagonal skyscraper in Asakusa. Wow, you think skyscraper would be the word that I trip over, but the locals all call it the Junikai Tower, referring to it by the number of floors. Yeah, Junikai. Yeah, okay. Ju-ni is 12. Yeah, all right. Okay, that makes it... Okay. There's a panoramic view of Tokyo at the top. Bird, you can't jam yourself that far into my esophagus, thank you. My bird is with me. The tower was packed with sightseers when it was first built, but nowadays only a few people bother going up. Most of them have left their hometowns to come to Tokyo for the first time. Moreover, when night falls, the area surrounding the tower becomes a shady district from which women and children are advised to stay away. That's just how different the area is in daytime and at night. He wants to go up there because it's romantic. Spacey feels a sharp pain in her chest at Hideo's deliberate choice to visit the tower. I want to remember this country. All right. With you. Spacey replies simply and agrees to go along with Hideo's wish. Maybe he knows that he might not be able to make it home alive. And if he's willing to ask Spacey to accompany him on his trip to memorize the sights of their hometown, then she knows she should be happy. And she is. Hideo and Spacey mutely ascend the dimly lit spiral stairs within the tower. Spiral staircase, sorry. Once they get to the top, they sweep their eyes over the brightly illuminated floor. It's a world closer to the skies above, and Spacey sighs at the sight. Aww. It's kind of a sad CG, but it's beautiful. But, like, she looks kind of sad, and he's just, like, staring off into the distance all serious. It's kind of, like, bittersweet, you know? You're like, oh. But it's so pretty. The blue sea in the distance, the haphazard arrangement of many roofs, the small silhouettes of people going about their days like dolls in a puppet show. These things make the two of them feel as if they're gazing at a diorama. Your manor should be somewhere around there. Do you want to use the telescope? No, I'm good. I just want to look at the view together with you. Theo says. He slips an arm around Spacey's shoulders to pull her close and nuzzles his cheek into her hair. Look, he's just being so overly romantic and so cute. Stop! She feels like there are thorns in her ribcage, aimed at her heart and stabbing it with every beat. She's still against Hideo's decision to go to Siberia. It's not that she's been able to fully come to terms with it. It's not that she has been able to come to fully terms with it. Okay. But she also knows that there's literally nothing she can do about it. Hideo's made up his mind, and his superiors have accepted his application. Withdrawing now must be easier said than done. You've always liked high places. You used to climb trees a lot. Hideo murmurs, keeping his arm around Spacey with eyes fixed on a spot in the distance. I would try to stop you, for your own safety, but you wouldn't listen. You would go to places where I couldn't reach, and now you're going places where I can't reach. Rude. You'd look down at me from your perch among the branches. I used to think you must have been half bird. Is that why you love us? 'Cause I'm okay with that. A pretty annoying bird. Yeah, you are a reckless tomboy and a clumsy bird, but you're a bird that can soar in the sky unbridled. Not can't soar into the sky. Spacey leans her head on Hideo's chest. This is just sad, but so romantic, but so sad. I don't climb trees anymore. You have me tucked safely inside your arms. I'm a flightless bird now. You can fly. Don't push me off the building, okay? I'm not ready for that. Maybe, but not without you. Not without you, Hideo. Spacey turns to meet Hideo's eyes, here in the deserted Junikai Tower. Between the two of them, Hideo is the one that resembles a bird ready to take flight, leaving the place of his origin behind. A woeful bird who doesn't know when he'll return. Hideo, promise me you'll come home. I do. Swear to me. Swear to me right now! I swear to you that I will come home. Your promise. You are to come home. And don't forget me! Dam breaks and her tears flow out of her eyes, unbidden. So beautiful it hurts. Wetness rolls down her cheeks and onto Hideo's uniform, leaving damp streaks in their wake. Don't forget. Beg you, please. Don't forget me. She feels Hideo move, raising his palms to cup her tear-stained cheeks. The world before her is a blurry reflection, her tears distorting the look on Hideo's face. Ah! It's so pretty, stop it! Oh, it's like so pulled back, I want that closeness of the CG, but it's so beautiful being able to oh, sorry, I was trying to, god damn it, I forgot how this game works. I was trying to hide this, not skip the text, but B skips text. One of these, I'm never gonna remember to go into the options and try to change the buttons, and I will never get used to how stupid these ones are, but God, it's beautiful. Anyway. Nope. Why? Okay. Anyway, she feels the gentle press of his lips on hers, and his impulsive tongue slips between them. Oh. Ew. Their kiss quickly heats up. Okay, we're gonna go home because no one else is there. I mean, Vegeta, but what else? Spacey desperately tries to match him, to reciprocate. The thought that this may be their last kiss blasts away any shy reservations she had. They exchanged a few more kisses before pulling back. Breathing in short pants and with the tips of their noses almost touching, they peer into each other's eyes. This is so goddamn good. I hate it. I hate it because it's so good it hurts. The moment is so beautiful and painful, but they do it so well that you're not god damn. Tao's eyes are overfull behind his glasses as he studies Spacey's face as if the act is killing him inside. Will you show me all of you? Oh my. Hideo says, voice hoarse. Well, will you let me feel everything that you are? That is a really great way to phrase this. A+. Spacey knows what his questions imply. I know, and I'm here for it. Blood flushes her cheeks, and she's almost dizzy. Her heart's beating at full speed, and she clings to Hideo, afraid of losing her consciousness right here and right now. She doesn't hesitate in the least. It's just that she's so eager that words fail her. I also want to feel you, Hideo. Hi. She wrings the words out of her throat, painstakingly so. It's so beautiful, though. Take me anywhere you want. Please. Spacey. Hideo slips his arm around Spacey and tightens his grip, holding onto her for dear life. She wraps her arms around Hideo's back, digging her nails into the broad expanse. She wants to know his everything. She wants to be Hideo's. Oh my god, I love it so much. Better yet, she wishes he could whisk her away and take her somewhere far. She realizes that she asked Hideo to do exactly the same thing on the night of her birthday party. But on that day, she spoke those words out of pure desperation. It's different now, she muses. Right now, she ardently wishes he would take her away. Back then, I never thought I'd feel so strongly for Hideo. When did she fall in love with him? So deeply, too. Who cares? It's beautiful and I love it. A lot has happened since the night of Spacey's birthday party, and Hideo's been the only constant existence in her life since then. He was once nothing more than a childhood friend, but now she sees him as a man. It's not a change, but more of a spontaneous epiphany, a realization that dawns on an uneventful day. She's always been conscious of Hideo's presence around her, and he's always been following her with his eyes. Maybe she's just come to see these things. It's as simple as that. They're childhood friends, two people who understand each other. And now they're a couple, a man and a woman who strongly yearn for each other. Oh. Right here in the tower. They get a room at a worn-out inn nearby. Oh! We're not even going home, we're going to an inn! They don't need any words, too absorbed in the other, too busy seeking each other's lips. I can't moan for him. I'm sorry, I can't do the moaning, but whatever. Spacey, love you. I love you. Me too, Hideo. They're drawn like a pair of magnets, lips nearly fusing from the countless number of kisses that they've shared. I wonder if there was like dirty CGs in where it's black now, but like they kept some of the like wording in so you know what's happening, but they took out some of the dirtier things and like was there like wildly I mean, I'm sure there was horny CGs, but I'm wondering if they were like here. Everything about them is a perfect fit, glued to one another and refusing to let go. Their puffs of hot breath are mingling, soft hairs on their cheeks grazing against each other, and the smooth tips of their noses brushing. Hideo showers Spacey with kisses, leaving a trail of reverent kisses on her cheeks, forehead, and eyelashes. The silver rim of his glasses glide along her skin like cold droplets of water. We weren't kidding when we said the glasses stay on during sex, were we? Okay, well, I'm not complaining. Oh no, we still dressed. But still! Hideo, aren't you going to take off your glasses? Oh, I just thought it was just going to be like a little loophole in the game where you're like, I guess the Wait, is he going to be like, no, they stay on? This is the best fucking part of the game ever. Any game ever. This is the best. I can't read this. I'm sorry. I love this game so fucking much. I'm gonna die. I can't pull it together, guys. I'm sorry. I won't be able to see you clearly if I do. So no. It took all I had to get through that. Because it's so funny. Again, I literally thought it would just be like, did he just left his glasses on? Like, we don't mention it. Like, you don't mention it, it's just a funny little thing. But no, he specifically is like, no, they stay on. That's so... Guys, I'm crying. Oh my god. How many times has this game made me laugh so much I cry? Oh dear god. Is your eyesight that bad? I just want to be able to make out every inch of you with perfect clarity. Those are the words that Hideo would never tell her under normal circumstances. Coupled with the blatant sincerity in his tone, Spacey's heart pounds in response to his raw emotion. Seemingly not wanting to waste another second, Hideo promptly moves his hands to untie the obi sash of Spacey's kimono. But his hands fumble around the sash and he gives her an impatient look that tells her he has no idea what he's doing. Well, I mean, with the sash or just here and now. I don't think we really have any idea of what we're doing either, because, like, first time for all of us, but I'm sure I can untie the sash. Oh, that's him. How do I untie this? Like this. Spacey slips her hands behind her back, entangles her fingers with Hideo's, and together they untie her sash. Sexy. Once the solid and firm knot's undone, it unravels and slips down from its place around Spacey's waist. She glances at Hideo. Although he tries his best to play it cool as he pushes down the sash out of the way and unties the string around her waist, she can tell that he's nervous by the slight tremble. That's adorable! Stop it! I love it. The tense look on Hideo's face is all Spacey needs to know that this must be his first time, too. Sweet. I love it. And again, perhaps she should have been able to guess as much. I mean, he specifically told Sheba, not into women. And it wasn't like, I'm gay. It was like, yeah, I just don't care. Just because he's only ever been interested in us. So, if it's not us, he doesn't care. Which is sweet and beautiful. Hideo is a fastidious person. A man who loathes Mizuhito's habit of playing with women. It's unmistakable that he must have turned down anyone who wanted to sleep with him. Hideo's innocence is clear in the clumsy way he unties her obi, and it fills Spacey's heart with joy. I mean, and especially, I like the little juxtaposition kind of because, Sheba obviously kind of knew what he was doing, so you gotta think that he might not be the whore that her brother is, but probably had some flings before. Okay, alright, maybe with Kyoko, just saying. Fujita was banging all the maids, so Fujita might have been a little bit more of a man whore than Sheba. You know? And here's little virgin Hideo over here. It's just, I like the fact that it's all over the place. It's not like, oh, they're all innocent and never, or they're all you're the innocent one and they've all had fling. They know what they're doing. You know what I mean? It's nice. Spice it up a little. Give us the adorable, awkward virgin. It's cute, okay? Why do we always have to be? Why can't we be well, I mean, in this time period for this game, I understand why she's not. But in every other game, why is it I'm a modern woman, but oh gosh, again, I'm a fainting violet. He looked at me and I'm going to die. I'm not saying I want us to be a dominatrix, but maybe that would be nice. You know? I'm just saying, we don't have to be innocent, virginal little wallflowers who practically faint and pass out every time a man blinks at us. We can have some control of our sexuality, even if we're yeah, no, I'm not interested, so I never have. But yeah, I see the way you're looking at me, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Just a little bit of spice. It's not. It's the trope, and the trope kills me. So I like this. All right. I like that we're both awkward noobs here. It's cute. She's ecstatic to know that Hideo's choosing her to be his first lover. Can I? Hideo asks, hesitant to open her loose kimono, and he's asking for consent. Despite the fact that we're here in a hotel room, which would be consent, but he's double checking. Good for him. Take the final step. Macy smiles gently at him. You don't even need to ask. Hideo looks stunned, lost, and embarrassed all at once. She watches as pink creeps up his neck to dye his cheeks. Sweet, I love it when they blush. Don't say that. I want your yes. I want to make sure that I'm doing something that I want to make sure that I'm doing something that you don't want? Tim! Ronald! How dare you! Make sure he's phrasing things the right way. That is not what he meant. I want to make sure that I'm not doing something that you don't want. Rude! How dare you even make us question Hideo for half a second before we realize that you have shitty typing skills? Bad! Corner! Both of you! No, you won't. That's why you can do anything you want, Hideo. Oh. Hideo's fingers tremble around her kimono. Macy stares back at Hideo, internally urging her nervous and tense self to calm down. So beautiful. Stop it. I'm scared. I feel like if I touch you, you'll be sullied. But you have this charm to you that makes it impossible for me not to touch you. You're beautiful. Frightening. Who doesn't want to be beautiful and frightening? I'm just saying, the man, his lines are great. A+. They slide their arms around each other in a tight embrace. Spacey's skin, fingertips, and lips, they're all shouting that she loves Hideo. She's never had him so close to her before. You will have him even closer sooner. So, you know what I'm saying? Huh? She's never seen every raw inch of Hideo before, and now you will. Hideo. And I like how they cut out Like, you're like, are this where the porny CGs are? And then they pop back with a CG that's just, like, normal. And you're like, oh, okay. I kind of can't wait to, like, the little, like, afterglow CG that we usually get with him with his glasses on still. Just gonna be A+. Anyway. Spacey, you really are like a lily. You're so straightforward and pure. You smell delectable. And you've taken me captive. Well, gotta be careful here. Overcome with emotions, Hideo keeps whispering sweet nothings into her ears. She doesn't have any reason left in her to keep the waves of Hideo's emotions at bay. Spacey, I love you. You're mine. Mine. Damn right I am. His heated and fervent words are taking over Spacey's heart, lifting her up to the highest of the heavens. Tears well up in her eyes, and Hideo is but a blurry image in her field of vision, but she fixes her eyes on him nevertheless, intent on memorizing every spot on his face. But there's one thing that she'd like to change, so Spacey reaches out to try to take off his glasses. Hideo, do you mind if I take off your glasses? Yes, girl, put them back! Huh? But I want to see your face, Hideo, bare and unhindered by anything. Please, no, I like the glasses on. Like, that's like 99% of his hotness. Take him off and he's just like everybody else. I still love him, but, you know, the glasses definitely help. Spacey, please. And after a hesitant beat, he slowly nods. Oh my god, are we getting a CG without the glasses? Wait. Sure. If you insist. Thank you. Oh, he's still adorable, but the glasses make him hotter. Just saying. Spacey gently takes the silver-rimmed glasses off his face. She cradles Hideo's naked face in her hands, eyes flitting from a spot on his countenance to another in an attempt to memorize every detail. But, like, now we're not going to get the afterglow CG with the glasses on, and that's kind of, like, come on. You look so different without your glasses, Hideo. Do I? I can't tell. I just know that I'm uneasy without my glasses on. And when I look in the mirror and the man staring back at me as a blurry figure, it's a bit startling. Well, I beg to differ. You have nothing to worry about. You just gotta lean closer to the mirror. That's what I have to do. You want to tweeze your eyebrows? You can't do it with contacts on. You gotta take the contacts off, get like 2 inches from the mirror, and then you can like do it. Like, Spacey leans forward to land a chaste, feather-light kiss on Hideo's eyelids. Aw, beautiful Hideo. So pure, gentle, and unmistakably beautiful. Beautiful. That's not a word you should associate with a man. No, that's how we like 'em. I want my men pretty. Says who? I'm just speaking my mind. I honestly think that you're beautiful, Hideo, and men should be happy being called beautiful. Hideo carries with him a delicate and fragile heart, tucking it away along with his true self in the safety of his cold silver-rimmed glasses. As soon as the mask vanishes and his true face is revealed, the expression on Hideo's face slowly changes into one that's quite soft and gentle. It's like a knight without his armor, an unprotected warrior. Almost rolling his eyes like, oh, whatever. You're the beautiful one here, Spacey. Your radiance is blinding. I never bring myself to touch you. I always thought of you as an existence that was out of my reach. But here you are, and you've come down from the heavens and, by some miracle, to my arms. And I don't want to let you go. And don't. Oh. Spacey lifts her hand to wipe the sweat dotting Hideo's temple with her fingertips as she leans in to nuzzle her nose against his cheek. Don't let me go. Not right now. Not ever. Oh, Spacey. They lock lips again, white puffs of breath and enchanted sighs intermingling. She wishes time would stop. Wishes so badly for it from the bottom of her heart. The hours they spend colliding their earnest emotions against each other end in the blink of an eye. Spacey has indeed received 3 definitive things from Hideo. The first one is a memory with him, a warm memory with the love of her life. The second one is euphoria, pouring into her in the most magical way. The third one is sorrow, passing through her being like a hushed breeze. See, this would have been such a beautiful afterglow CG with the glasses on. It's still beautiful, don't get me wrong, but it would have been funnier with the glasses on. He said the glasses stay on during sex and she took them off. I don't agree with that. I think they needed to stay on. It would have been better. Because then it just would have stayed funny instead of like, well, now you took them off and now it's not as funny anymore. It was funny for a minute. I want to keep it that way, you know? And he is lovely in this, don't get me wrong. But I still think with the glasses on, instead of a 9 out of 10, it would have been 10 out of 10. Because the glasses are sexy. Spacey, I'm sorry. It was probably a bit rough. Why are you apologizing? Happy about it. But still, I wasn't exactly gentle. You were gentle. Plenty. And I wanted to accept you as you are, Hideo. Happy you let me. Spacey. Clarity hums in Hideo's eyes as he stares at Spacey. Normally it's hard to tell because Hideo always has his glasses on. His eyes are actually extremely gorgeous. Clear and pure like the bottom of a blue lake. Tonight, it hit Spacey for the first time why Hideo would choose to go to war. Hideo simply wanted to face everything head on. It's not in his nature to be a coward or to stray from the path. Hideo must have been determined to deal with the situation the only way he knows how. In his mind, the punishment for betraying his entire family, choosing Spacey, would be to volunteer to be dispatched for the war. It's just how solid Hideo's resolution is. His strong wish to be together with her has compelled him to make that choice. His love is pure, so pure, to a fault. By making that decision, Hideo has made it clear that he's offering himself, body and soul, to her. Will you wait for me, Spacey? Hideo says, voice sounding distant and near at the same time, like a dream, and it strikes Spacey's heart in the most bittersweet way. I'll return from the war alive, for you. So, don't say it. Spacey whispers, feeling the back of her eyes burn and her voice choked with unshed tears. Don't say it. Just stay with me here. Stay here with me until it gets dark. And then let me at least tell you one more thing. What? We're husband and wife now. I don't think that's how it works. You are my wife, and I am your husband. Again, that's not how it works. Because then the men that we marry, then Fujita and Shiba have a lot of wives. And ours wouldn't be legal. Just saying. Sex does not make you husband and wife. In your heart and soul, sure, if that's how you want to feel. But it's not legal, dear. We are, right? We are. Of course we are. Again, that's not how. Hot tears roll down her face, and she realizes he's crying too. They bring their lips together for a long kiss. They rub their cheeks against the other and they embrace, seeking evidence that they're both alive and warm. There's no wedding ceremony or visiting hall to register their family. Their words, their vows, are the only things that bind them together as husband and wife. I mean, again, okay, so it's like, I'm like, that's not how it works, but it's more like, we agree this is basically like, we might as well, okay, cool. That's fine. It's not legal, but if it makes you feel better, I'm okay, I'm with it. I'm with you, okay. But somehow the vows are enough. For the two of them, those vows are what they needed and more. Locked together in a solid and still embrace like a chrysalis, they spend the remaining hours inside the old inn's room, basking in the light of the setting sun. Neither of them wants to speak about what's lying in wait for them in the future, about their terrible and cruel fate. They just want to stay there, letting their 5 senses drink in the other's presence. Hideo won't be gone for long. He'll come home, alive, or she knows. Spacey believes it like she believes the sky is blue. He fucking better! It's the good ending! The bad ending, he's absolutely one of them, he's dead. No question. She doesn't want even a speck of doubt to plague her mind. Hideo will come back safely. It's fact, and she refuses to believe in anything else. I'm with you there. He once told Spacey she was strong, but he couldn't have been any further from the truth. She's not strong. Her environment's forcing her to be strong. Pretend to be strong. Her mask of strength will eventually crack over time. Without a goal and hope, she can't keep the mask on for long. Which is why Spacey needs to believe that Hideo will return one piece. Because if she doesn't, she'd be rendered helpless, unable to even stand on her feet, unable to even breathe. A few days later, Hideo departs. Oh, Spacey doesn't go to see Hideo off. She wants the moment they spent together at the inn to be the last memory she has of him before his departure. From now on, it'll be a test of endurance. Spacey pictures the long, restless days to come, and she's already feeling a little bit defeated. Especially because, unless we're getting letters or some shit, our love interest is gone! What the fuck are we gonna do for the rest of the route? Like, beat off Sheba with a stick? That's not fun. Might be a little bit fun, but, like, not for the whole, like, one time, maybe fun. But, like, Hideo's gone. He's our love interest. Where, like, what the shit? This is like frickin' Nightshade, Chojiro's route. You're like, why are you not in your own route? Why are you not here? It's your route and you are not here. I'm playing the game because I want to look at your beautiful fucking face and your titty window in his little outfit. He had like a booby window. But you know what I mean? Like, Hideo, I'm here for you and you're gone. You're gonna be as present in your own route as you have been in the others, which is to say not a lot. Like, fuck. Damn it, game! Why? Why you gotta take my hot glasses, Kunaway? Come on. Jeez. Anyway. Spacey pictures the long, restless days to come, and she's already feeling a little bit defeated. You and me both. This part started out so good, and now I'm sad. But she can't let herself be discouraged here, because Hideo will be out there on the battlefield, living through every moment without knowing if he'll live to see tomorrow. Compared to him, perhaps what she's leading now is a rather peaceful life. Yeah, definitely. What she's sure of is that there's only one path she can tread upon, and that's to wait for Hideo's return. Spacey repeats the words in her head before deciding to start doing what she can for the day. Okay, we've only done our save file 2, so we've got 3, I think. Okay, I was looking because I'm like, I see 2, and I'm like, no, we have 3. So there is, it's not like, oh, okay, we're almost to the end. Like, we've got at least a couple more choices, probably. Well, I'm going to cheat. Yeah, okay, we got save file. Okay, we've got one more choice, and that's where our next save is. So, but that doesn't mean anything. That could be like an hour from now, but anyway. Spacey repeats the words in her head before deciding to start doing what she can to do for the day. I've read that. Are you sure about this, Spacey? What are you getting at, brother? What else? Are you sure you made the right choice by not seeing Hideo off? A few days have passed since Hideo left. Spacey fights the urge to sigh because what is she supposed to do now? Jeez. Brother, please. It's been days. Even if I do regret not having seen him off, what can I do about it now? I was just baffled, you know. I thought you and Hideo liked each other. Didn't want to see Hideo depart for war. This is the first time she's heard her brother admit he's been aware that she and Hideo are in love, but she isn't even surprised. She should be like, I want that memory of the sex we had to be the last time I see him in my head. Not as he's departing for war. I want that sex-fueled night, you know? There have been occasions that might have given their relationship away. That and the fact that Mizuhito is an expert when it comes to love affairs. It must not have taken him long to see through her poor and inexperienced attempts at keeping her relationship private. Besides, he told me he'd come back safely. I trust him, so I will wait for him. If that's how it is. Mizuhito shakes his head, looking at her like a difficult puzzle, and sighs. I still can't believe Hideo decided to go to Siberia, though. I remember Lady Kyoko and Shiba talking a little bit about the expedition. The brains of those people don't work the same way ours do. They're only thinking about business. That's why I hate people like them. And because Lady Kyoko is like a pimp selling your body at a private club. So that she's not selling our body. What a good brother. But also, like, that's kind of fucked up. Lady Kyoko, what she's doing to our brother anyway. Anyway, what are you going to do with Shiba? Actually, that's our parents' problem. Mom, I hope from wherever you are in the other world, you're paying attention, because your overspending and not being able to budget has caused our brother to have to sell his body to protect me from having to sell my body. So, You did this. This is basically your fault. Maybe a little bit our dad's too, but mostly your spending. I'm just throwing it out there. Like, Jesus. Look what you made your kids do. So you were like, oh, Wanton's son is a man whore. Whose fault is that, actually? Kinda, indirectly. Directly, but also I mean, he was being a man whore at the red light district, but then, like, now he's actually a man whore, and, like, you know. Before, it was just like, oh, he's sleeping around with lots of prostitutes, but now he is one! That's your fault! Anyway, what are you going to do with Sheba? Reject him, of course. Sheba hasn't been showing up lately, probably busy with work. She's planning to reject Sheba's marriage proposal the next time he visits, but he hasn't been stopping by. She doesn't like how calculated the timing seems to be. Leaving loose ends untied is one of the things that Spacey hates the most. She's considered rejecting Sheba through a telephone call before. It feels wrong to establish contact after a long while, just to turn down his proposal. So she decided against it. You refused to proceed with our grandmother's suggestion on my behalf, right, brother? I did, and she was so disappointed. She said you should have at least met the guy once before turning him down. Right, as if meeting him once wouldn't make it even more difficult for me to reject him. Besides, I'm not even interested in marrying the guy. Agreeing to meet up with him would be insane, and kind of rude to him because he's thinking like, oh, okay, we're gonna meet, and that might be good. And you're like, yeah, I had no intention of marrying you, and, like, here we are, and I'm still not gonna marry you, bye. And he's like, why did you waste my time? You know what I mean? It's kind of like, not interested in this person, they asked me out. You don't go out on a date with them unless you're interested. You could be interested, like, yeah, I'm interested, I guess. And went out, didn't work out. Fine, but, like, I had never had any interest in you at all, but I figured, what the hell, it's free coffee. Like, that's so rude. Don't waste somebody's time like that. Like, whip out $5 and pay for your own fucking coffee, you cheap-ass bastard. You know what I mean? Like, don't waste this poor guy's time. But I really hope Tatsue ends up with the Shirota girl. Like, that'd be great. Well, it's true. I see you've already made up your mind. I have. Hideo is the only one for me. Can we get your blessing, brother? Because Mizuhito is such a kind-hearted brother, it's never crossed Spacey's mind once that he might be opposed to a relationship with Hideo. But Hideo's already gone to the battlefield. Many families will force their daughters to break off their engagements with soldiers who would depart to the battlefield, so it wouldn't be weird at all if Mizuhito turned out to be against her being with Hideo. The likelihood has only struck Spacey now, and she waits for her brother's response with bated breath. Here's the thing. You're not I mean, we exchanged our metaphysical vows, like, metaphorical vows. Like, we were like, we're married now, right? Sure. Not legally, not in the eyes of anyone but ourselves. And we're not technically engaged. We just are, I'm going to wait for him to come back, and then we're going to get engaged, married, and all that shit. So, like, our brother's like, I mean, I get, what would be the point of opposing that? Like, well, even if you didn't like it, you're like, well, I mean, nobody knows that you're waiting for him. So if something happens and he dies, it's not like it's ruining our life. You know what I mean? Like, oh, your fiance went away and died, and now you're like, you know what I mean? Because, like, with the Shirota girl, with Hideo's original fiance, right? Oh, they're engaged to get married, blah, blah, blah. He's going off to war. Well, when he dies, she's got to wait around for him to possibly die. And then it's not, I feel like, I don't know if that holds the same stigma as, oh, they get married, he goes off to war and he dies, and now she's unmarriable. Like, even though we got married, he went to war the next day, they never even touched each other, and now she's damaged goods, kind of, somehow. The fuck? So I don't know if they're like, oh, your fiance went off to war. Oh, whatever, damaged goods. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's the same, if that holds the same weight there, you know what I mean? It's got the same stigma to it. But I'm gonna go with probably, because otherwise there's really no reason to be like, okay, your fiance's going off to war. Well, we better break off the engagement and find you someone else. Except for the fact of, if that doesn't hold the same stigma, it's like, your fiance's going off to war. He could be gone for like a year, and then and we need to carry on the so all right, forget it. We'll find someone else type of a thing. And it's not about the stigma behind he might die. It's the, now we're sitting around waiting and waiting and waiting for him to maybe come back, maybe not. We don't know what's going on. And, like, we need to sell our daughter off, basically. Even though they're not selling your daughter, but you're basically selling your daughter. Like, funny that, like, when Sheba was like, I'll buy you, we're like, oh, crude! And, like, that's basically what your parents are doing. They're selling you off to a rich man. It's just, they're not blatantly saying it's about money, but it kind of is. So, like, because you don't say it, it's not crude and awful, but because Sheba kind of said it, it's crude and awful. It's like, same thing! This is the same thing, you know what I mean? So, like, I kind of get that, where it might not have the same stigma, like, oh, your fiance went off and died, but it's like, well, we're waiting, and the merchandise is degrading over time here. Like, our daughter's gonna wait, 3 years? Could be a year, could be 2 months, could be 2 years. Wars aren't like snap of the finger. You're like, how long has this? It's been like 84 years. What the shit, you know? Like, they take a while. So you don't know. It's all up in the air. So, like, I can understand they break off engagements and stuff. But, like, for us, what does our brother have to complain about? Like, well, are you going to marry anyone else? No. Oh, whatever. You're not really engaged. So, like, if something happened, and nobody knows about Hideo and I aside from my brother. So if something were to happen to him and you get this letter in the mail, like, oh, first day on the battlefield, died. You know, then you're like, oh, okay, then you can move on. And nobody knows. It's not like that stigma would be around you, engaged, married, or otherwise. You know what I mean? So, our brother has really no reason to oppose this. Like, theoretically. Aside from, like, well, I think it's bad for you to hang on waiting for a man who's probably going to come back in a body bag. If at all, you know? We know he's coming back, but... Anyway. The likelihood has only struck Spacey now, and she waits for her brother's response with bated breath. In this era, what the head of a household says is absolute. On the other hand, Spacey can't picture herself being with someone other than Hideo. Even if her brother says no, she doesn't think she can obey him. I like the fact that we're like, the head of the household's absolute, but if my brother says no, fuck that crap, because, like, I'm not listening to this bitch. That says a lot about fucking Mizuhito, doesn't it? It's written clearly on your face. I'm planning to elope with him if I say no, huh? Spacey stares back at Mizuhito in silence for having been exposed, and he smiles wryly at her. I do like the fact that, like, nobody really takes him seriously, but he's so motherfucking smart. He knew exactly what we were thinking. He's like, I know what you're thinking. Just, no, you're not going to listen to me anyway, so whatever. Honestly, I never thought you and Hideo would be lovers. I mean, just look at how Hideo has been treating you. He used to treat you nicely. You should have seen him the other night before he left. Treated me very nicely. I can see where you're coming from. I used to think that Hideo was no longer the same person from my childhood. But brother, he hasn't changed at all. He was just chained down by a lot of things. He was in love with me, and our mother said we couldn't be together, so he was mad and hurt, and trying to separate himself and his love for me so that he could marry someone else, even though he didn't want to. You know, I get it. She has no intention to explain Hideo's circumstances in detail to Mizuhito. She wants to keep the discord between their families a secret from her brother for as long as possible. Mizuhito and Hideo have never been the best of friends, and it wasn't that long ago that Hideo began to look down on Mizuhito and sever ties with him. The connection between them is anything but cordial. She can't tell her brother that Hideo went to the battlefield for her, but she does want her brother to know that Hideo loves her from the bottom of his heart. Well, I guess I wouldn't know because I never actually sat down and talked with Hideo. But once he's back, I want to invite him for a meal, drink a few cups of sake, and talk about many things with him. Brother, you know Hideo is a lightweight. But I kind of want to see his drunken face. I think it'll be quite an attractive sight. Are you hitting on my boyfriend? Or is Mizuhito's route gonna be the man harem incest route? I never thought we'd get a man harem incest route, like, all at the same time, but I'm not opposed to it. I always want a man harem route, and they never give it to me. This game would have been perfect for a man harem, I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Like, Sheba'd totally be fine. I mean, hi, didn't we have that arrangement? Wasn't that in Fujita's bad ending? We're like, I married Sheba, but I'm banging my butler on the side. Also, I'm going to be sleeping with my brother, my childhood friend, who's going to live with us. Probably have sex with Lady Kyoko, but I guess if you are too, whatevs. Could be like a threesome thing every once in a while. Oh, and the gardener. Because that'll keep him from trying to murder our family, I guess. I'm just saying, with some of the shit that goes on in this game, you'd think a man harem would have been like, all right, the harem route where you get to do them all. You know? I'm just saying, I'm surprised, honestly. There's a lot of games where I could fit in a man harem. I'm not kidding. I could find any way to squeeze one in. All right? I will always be able to find the way to put a man harem in. But I'm just saying, I'm kind of surprised at this game because it's like, they put so much in here. There's so many little things that like, and you didn't go a harem route too? I'm just throwing it out there. Missed opportunity. Sheesh. There's nothing attractive about drunk people.
Sorry, but rest assured, I just want to be friends with Hideo. All the more reason to if he's going to be my little brother.
Brother. Mizuhito flits his eyes across Spacey's face, gazing at her with benevolent eyes. Joy hums warmly beneath her skin, after knowing the words mean she's gained her brother's approval. But why does her brother's gaze look forlorn and sorrowful at the same time? Is it just her imagination? Because he's like, my little sister's leaving. I want... Like, don't worry. Don't worry. We got a couple more hours before we're going to start banging you. Again, man harem.
What we can do for now is pray for a safe return. I'm sure he'll be back soon, though.
I agree. Thank you, brother. Hideo's only been away for a few days, but she misses him already. Hideo, what are you doing now? Where are you now? In the ship? Or on a train? Or has he arrived in Siberia? Spacey lets her thoughts wander to where Hideo is and prays. Prays that Hideo's resolve doesn't lead to a tragedy. Bad ending it will. One of them. Probably the third one. A few days later, Spacey's finished her breakfast and is sitting absent-mindedly in her chair when someone knocks on her door and brings her out of her daze. A letter from Hideo? My lady, do you have a moment? Yes, come in. Excuse me. Vegeta steps into the quiet room and hands Spacey a white envelope. Yes, it is! Game, you meet my expectations every time! Spacey's heart starts thumping at the sight. What is it? You have a letter from the young master of the Ozaki family. Oh. Hands trembling with joy, she reaches out for the envelope. You see, thank you, Fujita. Although, at the same time, a letter could be something bad. But it wouldn't be the military sending you a letter saying your husband's dead, because they don't know anything about you two, but... He probably would have told someone, hey, if I die, make sure she gets a letter, so she knows, you know? Vegeta bows, gives Spacey a small smile, and turns on his heel. It's kind of sad if you think about it, like, the whole thing. Like, I know we talked about this in the last part and a little bit before. Like, the whole, like, oh, a woman is garbage if her husband goes off to war and dies. Now she's worthless. But it's also kind of sad for the men. Like, it's just kind of, like, douchey all around. I mean, it's not your fault that your husband was deployed. Because I'm sure some of them didn't have a fucking choice. So now you're garbage and unmarriable and, like, worthless now because your husband died in war. Serving his country. That's kind of a fucked up thought process, right? Like, excuse me? Maybe if you think that lowly of soldiers and people that go to war, maybe don't start wars. That's a thought. You know what I mean? But it's also douchey for the men. So, like, you are forced to go off to war. And, like, you have to think then you might have been in love with someone and be like, oh, well, now fuck that shit. I ain't waiting for you because I'm gonna be garbage without you. Like, that makes women act colder toward the men that are going to work. Because, like, nah, fuck that shit. I'm out. Nope, we're leaving. Because you're gonna end up, what if you die? Then, like, and then I'm garbage. Like, that's a horrible way to, like, maintain relationships with people. So, like, you have to think that, like, you're gonna be forced to go to war and probably die for your country. And, like, maybe in, you know, Hideo's case, oh, good, then I won't have to marry that girl. But, like, if we were in love, okay, and our parents were still alive, my parents were still alive, right? Then they'd be, oh, no, we're not, you can't marry him. And then it's like, but I love him and he loves me. And then I've got to toss him aside like garbage so that I don't get tossed aside like garbage when he dies. That's a fucked up. That's just a circle of fucked up. That's just so wrong. Like, what the hell? Why are human beings so douchey and stupid? In general, we're all dumb. Like, what the hell? Collectively as a society, we're dumber. You'd think collectively we'd be smarter, but it just seems like, no. The more people you put together as, like, the dumber things get. You're like, why is history so stupid? Fuck. It's insane. It's just horrible for everybody involved. You're like, but again, that's the reality of war. Well, maybe don't fucking get into wars. Maybe actually learn how to communicate without punching each other or stabbing or shooting or blowing each other up or whatever. I'm just throwing it out there, but like, nah. Like, so dumb. Anyway. Once Fujita's left the room, Spacey picks up a pair of scissors to open the envelope as she tries to suppress the hammering in her chest. Wow, you're an aristocratic family and you don't have a fucking letter opener? Weak. She carefully unfolds the letter inside and finds Hideo's impeccable handwriting there. I realize most people don't have letter openers. I think I have like 3 in my house. Like, and I'm pretty sure it's because they came from grandparents. So I'm just saying, but like you're rich people and you don't have a letter opener, I would expect something fancy like that. Most of us are like, I just stick my finger in there and rip that shit open, but I forget that I have letter openers. But they come in handy, goddammit. Spacey, how are you doing? I have just arrived in Siberia. Compared to Japan and its severe, lingering summer heat, Siberia is cold, like late autumn, and the nights here are especially frigid. Siberia is a spacious land. It's like a whole different world compared to the cramped mess in Japan. The plains are vast, the sky unobscured by anything, and the air is dry and cold. And do you remember, I once offered to run away with you to China before, but I think a land like Siberia might match you better, seeing as you're tomboy as a girl can be. I'm going off topic here, but the morale of the military is painfully low. I've only arrived, but I've heard enough bad rumors about the executives to last a lifetime. Many of the common soldiers complain about wanting to go back to Japan as soon as possible. Who wouldn't? Who in the middle of war? What psycho? In the middle of war when you're deployed and out there is like, this is awesome! And not like, I want to go home. I don't want to be here. This is stupid. Like, even if you're fighting, you're like, I fully believe in what we're fighting for. You're like, still, war and the fighting part is stupid. I might believe in what we're trying to represent here, but the whole concept of war is stupid, and I want to go home. So, like, most people want to go home. Yeah, makes sense. I also would want to go home. I'm home right now, and I want to go home from the just thought of war. And then again, and these are likely because the purpose of this intervention is vague at best, and it's not directly related to Japan. At this rate, I might be able to go home early. By the way, I seem to have misplaced the photograph that I took with you. If the photograph's with you, keep it. And if you don't mind, I'd like to have more photographs of you. Always thinking about you. Oh. Hideo. The letter is short, but it reads just like something Hideo would write. It seems that Hideo initially wanted to take the photograph that they took together to the battlefield with him. Could you imagine if he was like, yep, I'm going to war anyway, and then left and we didn't have that moment and, like, he had the photo and he would just be pining and we wouldn't know? That's so sad. They already decided to go to war when they took the photograph. It isn't unlikely. Tears well up in her eyes, blurring the shape of Hideo's fine handwriting on the letter. How did Hideo feel when they took the photograph together that day? She can only imagine. Wonder if I have nice photographs to send him. How adorable, though. Macy circles a room in search of photographs of her. She doesn't take photographs that often. She might have some older photographs of herself, but she'll have to make do with them. Oh, found some. Spacey spots a few photographs inside a thin book, nestled among bigger books on the bookshelf. The photographs include those from when she was a child to fairly recent ones. Most of them depict her with her family, her father, mother, and brother. They look somewhat strained, and Spacey isn't any better. She looks nervous in many of the photos. But there's one that isn't like the others. A photograph of her with her family and servants, taken in the garden. This one was probably from about a year ago. A candid one in which everyone appears relaxed and natural. I'll send him this photo. It's then that she catches the sound of a car stopping outside the manor. The sound lights Spacey's entire being with jitters, uprooting and replacing her yearning for Hideo. Because it's probably Sheba. Is it Sheba? Sheba hasn't been visiting the manor lately. He finally decided that now would be the perfect time for a visit. If he's here, then she'll need to spell it out for him. But she's already in a relationship with another man. My lady, my apologies for intruding on you again. That's fine. What's wrong? Macy wipes the corners of her eyes to rid the tears and straightens up at Fujita's voice. Someone is here to see you, my lady. Noticing the unusual lilt in Fujita's voice, Macy stills and eyes the door suspiciously. And it's not Sheba? No, it's a lady that I have never seen before. Oh my god, it's the Shirota girl. What's her name? Oh, it is! Oh no! She's Lady Sawako Shirota. Oh, when you said it's a lady I've never seen before. Oh no. Macy lurches to her feet. Sawako Shirota, the lady who's engaged to Hideo. Why is she here? Nerves and confusion crowd into her brain. Why on earth would Hideo's fiance come here? When he came and she's like, something about what he's saying. I'm like, it can't possibly be someone from the military where you're going to go down and they make you think you just got this letter and Hideo's dead. Because you know damn well he's coming back alive. Except for in a bad ending. But I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like, don't make me tense and think you're going to bamboozle me, game. There's only one plausible explanation. She might have found out about Hideo's relationship with Spacey. She tucks the letter she's received from Hideo deep in her bosom, barely analyzing what she did. Though it doesn't take long for her to realize that she simply wanted to use the letter as an amulet to protect her from this unexpected turn of events. I'm like, why would you bring it with you? It's gonna fall out. Macy draws her lips into a tight, tense line and opens the door to the parlor. I mean, the girl's gonna find out eventually. When all of a sudden he comes back and you get married. But, I mean, you could play it off as like, well, we were always childhood friends, and since our relationship, and then I'm, you know what I mean? Like, sitting quietly on the couch is a girl she's only meeting now. Sawako Shirota. Does she have a sprite? Look, she's so cute! Look at her giant hair! She looks like a little mushroom. Oh. Eyes fixed on Spacey, who's entered the parlor, Sawako gasps a little and stands up from her seat. Her features are slender and delicate, skin bright like the finest of dolls. Eyes like a doe, a small nose, and adorable little lips. Like, she is adorable. The girl is like a carefully sculpted piece of art, made to be small and beautiful. The base color of her kimono is a calming iron blue, adorned with patterns of beautiful autumn plants, like chrysanthemums and clovers. Her kimono sash is in a classy gold color, and secured in her neatly tied updo is a chrysanthemum hair ornament. Everything about her is perfect. Too perfect, in fact. She seems surreal, like an empty husk. You must be Spacey. Yes, pleased to meet you. The pleasure's mine. My name is Sawako Shirota. Spacey and Sawako bow to each other. She rakes her eyes over Sawako's figure to study her appearance, but it's impossible to tell what the other girl is thinking through the stolid look on her face. Her voice is just as stoic. It's quiet and steady, devoid of any sort of emotion. Hideo did tell her once that his fiancé is unreadable. This girl might be amused or seething right now for all Spacey knows. Please, have a seat. Oh, thank you. Spacey prompts Sawako to take a seat, and she does. Spacey herself moves to sit down across her. But a moment later, Fujita comes in with tea and pastries and quietly moves to leave after serving the delicacies. Sawako doesn't even spare Fujita a glance, doesn't even oogle his appearance with poorly hidden curiosity like other guests tend to do. She keeps her eyes on Spacey the entire time. There's something wrong with this girl. She's not gonna oogle Fujita a little? Lord knows we do. It's as if she can't even see Fujita. Clearly she's indifferent to things that don't lie at the center of her field of vision. My apologies for imposing on you unannounced. But please don't apologize. I don't mind. I suppose it's rude of me to be asking you this question. But is it correct that you're a childhood friend of Hideo? Yes, it is. Which means you must have heard about me before, have you not? I have. You're his fiancé. Girl, I wouldn't say that. I would have been like, well, okay, as far as we have to pretend it's like, oh yeah, right, you broke up. She says, choosing to deliver the statement in the present tense. While she expected that their engagement had been broken off after Hideo's departure, possible that it wasn't, but they're still engaged. Sawako doesn't immediately reply. Instead, she lowers her eyes. So you have heard about me. You and Hideo must be close still. The air around them's oppressive. Maisie hastily opens her mouth to dispel it. I'm sorry, but I can't seem to guess what you would be here for, Sawako. My apologies, it's just that we've never even met before, so I was just wondering. Sawako lifts her dark brown eyes to look at Spacey, but otherwise she remains silent, lost in her thoughts even. Eventually she returns from her pondering and slowly shakes her head. Then, ever so slightly, the corners of her lips curve upwards. Spacey watches the movement and racks her brain to decipher the meaning. Is this girl smiling at her? Perhaps sneering? You are right. I should have begun with that subject. But before we get to it, I have another question for you. I wonder if you'd grace me with an answer. Sure, if it's within my knowledge. Spacey didn't expect Sawako to respond to her question with a question of her own. She doesn't think she's ready. This girl's a little unnerving. Sawako opens her mouth slowly, but clearly makes her question known. What does Hideo mean to you? Oh, we're not going to go with a childhood friend. This is the one we have to save because this is our other bad ending. A childhood friend that's absolutely... I mean, we did look at it before, but it's absolutely the bad ending. There was no question about that one. Obviously, he's someone important. Like, oh, God. Hideo was an important person to me. As a childhood friend. Of course, that as well. Second Sawako's questions out of her mouth, Spacey knew she had no intention to run or hide from it. Hideo's on the battlefield right now, caught in a war that could kill him. He's doing it all to achieve one goal, to be with Spacey. So she can't run with her tail between her legs. She can't lie through her teeth about their relationship. That'd be cowardly. She genuinely thinks so. Also, we love him, so I'm not gonna lie about it. Sawako, I'm not so stupid of a woman that I can't tell what you came here for, or why you're asking me these questions. I want to be honest with you, so I'm going to be upfront in how I feel. Maisie, she thinks she can spot something akin to sorrow rising in Sawako's eyes, and that's the first time the girl has revealed any sort of emotion since she stepped into this manor. Maisie herself feels calm, strangely so. I mean, it does suck that you're kind of in a way, hurting this girl, but you don't know how she felt about Hideo. It was they arranged this marriage. She didn't have a choice. If she had a choice, was she well, he seems cool and I kind of like him, and then he's not into you and whatever? That sucks that we're going to hurt Sawako like that. But you have to think of it you don't know that you even liked him. Your family forced this on both of you. So, I love Hideo romantically as the person, the man that he is. A long silence stretches between them. Sawako doesn't move, doesn't even bat an eye, just keeps her eyes that look like glass orbs on Spacey. What's this girl thinking? What will she do? Although Spacey can't get a read of the other girl's emotions, she knows she doesn't regret having revealed her relationship with Hideo. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Her relationship with Hideo is a pure one. Spacey's lost both her father and mother. Now she's on the brink of losing the entire household. Life's not been nice to her, but Hideo is the only one she refuses to let go of. He's the only ray of light that she's miraculously found in the darkness. They might not have held a wedding ceremony, but they've exchanged their vows. They are husband and wife. I knew it. You are the one he loves. Sawako whispers. Spacey flits her eyes between Sawako's eyes and panics when she finds tears swimming there. Sawako, no, please. I knew all along. I knew someone's already fully in his heart. Sawako must have had her suspicions. Spacey finds it surprising. She thought the girl with an impassive expression sitting in front of her wouldn't be interested in anything. To tell you the truth, my father wanted to cancel the engagement as soon as our family found out Hideo was going to be dispatched to Siberia. He's even talked about introducing me to another man. I know a really good guy that you might be interested in. My grandmother knew I'm just saying. I begged my father to wait because he wanted to be with Hideo. Oh, Sawako. That sucks. I was really kind of hoping she'd be more he's alright. It was supposed to be an arranged marriage, one done purely out of both families' interests. And yet, from the looks of it, Sawako seems to have genuinely fallen in love with Hideo, which is weird because... I mean, we did too, but we like the cold assholes. Apparently, this girl's got the same kink. You like the cold glasses ones, huh? Yeah. I get it. Macy feels a sharp pain in her chest. She snatched Hideo away from this girl. Well, okay, yeah, but to be fair, Hideo was in love with us, not her, so it does suck, and I feel a little bit bad. You are going to feel guilty, like, snatched him away. But that's implying he doesn't have a choice. He had the choice. He wasn't in love with Sawako. And as much as it hurts that now she's hurt, it's kind of better for her that she's not being forced to marry a man who's never going to be in love with her, that she's in love with. That's kind of awful. You will fall in love with someone else, girl, and that man will love you too, and it'll be better.
I actually knew who he's been in love with.
What?
It was easy. Hideo, he would smile whenever he talked about you. He would only show me a fake smile, but whenever he spoke about you, he would always smile.
Hideo would talk about me? Why Sawako decided to come here? To the manor of a total stranger who might or might not be her rival in love.
I came here today to see what kind of person you are. If you turned out to be a mad woman who was just trying to play with Hideo's heart, I thought I would do everything within my power to keep you away from him. But now I know that I can't possibly win against you. I've never met someone like you.
A faint smile spreads on Sawako's otherwise cold expression. The smile is like a bud opening up fractionally on a spring day. Macy finds her eyes drawn to it for a moment.
Your eyes, they're genuine and virtuous. Your voice, it holds no falsehood.
She's like a fucking walking lie detector.
I'm the daughter of an old warrior house, and all of us warriors gravitate toward people with a sincere heart, one that's clear as a still lake. I can see why Hideo is attracted to you. Seems that I must acknowledge you.
Sawako... A little jarring how Sawako's taking her revelation so well. And here she's braced herself, mentally prepared for the girl to lash out at her, call her names or beat her up. Women just fist fighting over Hideo. I'm into it. But Sawako has taken Spacey's confession at face value, believing that a relationship with Hideo is indeed a romantic one. It appears that this girl is not an airheaded young lady. She's a lady who's capable of thinking with her own and holding on to her opinions. She does have a backbone.
Well then, I'll be taking my leave.
What? But you haven't even finished your tea.
Thank you, but no. I don't want to impose on you any longer than I already have. Besides, I've received the answer I came here for.
Sawako abruptly stands up and crosses the parlor without any sound. She walks with such austerity in her steps, one that prevents Spacey from stopping her or calling out to her.
Thank you for your time. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Sawako bows deeply and leaves with the same impassive face she came with. Stunned, Spacey can only follow Sawako's retreating back with her eyes. She was like a storm. She came into the manor unannounced, talked briefly, and left just like that. Spacey has a feeling she's passed whatever test Sawako put her through. What would have happened if she played the fool and omitted the truth about a relationship with Hideo? I still can't believe she's fallen for Hideo. What does the girl, who looks like a living doll, like about Hideo? Again, sometimes we just like the glasses assholes. I want a bastard bespectacled boyfriend. If he pushes me against a wall, 10 out of 10. I'm just saying, look, Sawako's got some kinks and I understand them. I don't judge. You like him too, girl. Granted, she's known Hideo longer than Sawako has, but I'm just saying. What did we know when we first came in here? He's a little cold. He's got glasses. He's kind of seems like that asshole. I'm into it. So, I'm not judging Sawako. His outward appearance is certainly pleasing to the eye, definitely. His features are well proportioned and he looks dignified. Although his demeanor is a little cold, many ladies must be attracted to his sharp and refreshingly cool looks. The glasses don't hurt. They actually help greatly. 100% added. If you were like, yes, he's a 9 out of 10. The glasses is a 19 out of 10, okay? Like, I'm just saying. They add. And again, that cold added. We're into that. Hideo has a good physique, and when he's wearing his military uniform, he seems even more manly. However, the moment he opens his mouth, his words are either sarcastic, obstinate, or plain mean. Yeah, get off on that. Girl, you were basically that for Fujita and he got off on it. You don't, obviously she doesn't remember that. Whatever. You don't remember that other timeline? At the same time, though, he has a pure and sincere mind. Deep inside, he's just a delicate, gentle, and innocent boy. He also likes birds, so. Is Sawako able to see past Hideo's exterior and words and find his warm heart? Was she able to do it just like she's analyzed Spacey's nature with just a few words? Although she's impressed by Sawako's excellent observation skills, she's also aware of the tiny flames of jealousy in her heart. Might be due to her pride. She was convinced that she, and only she, was able to discover Hideo's good points. Hideo, come soon, please. Come back to me and hold me tight. She wants him to tell her that he's in love with her, and her alone. The emotion she's feeling is unmistakably jealousy. Practically uncharted territory to her, and she sighs at a loss of what to do. Sawako, the mysterious fiancé, now has a face to her name. Spacey didn't expect meeting Sawako in person would ignite her jealousy. She knows it's a bit late in the game for her to be holding on to this particular emotion. But see, that emotions aren't logical, so I like that they put this in and pointed out. It's not really logical, but here it is. Still, the fact remains that she's jealous, and it alerts her of the strength of her feelings for Hideo. Spacey lifts her hand to take Hideo's letter out of her bosom. She runs her fingers over the paper, seeking reassurance. She closes her eyes and prays for a safe return. Okay, good. I was like, this part's going on forever. But, we couldn't not, have that meeting with Sawako, right? We could have. We would have saved ourselves about, 15 minutes. But still, whatever. Anyway. Ooh, next time we get to deal with Shiba! So anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.